Hey guys, welcome to the show. In a previous video, my co-host Manny and I went over the latest MLB proposal for the 2020 season, which included players receiving 75% of their prorated salaries over 76 games. In that video, we cited a tweet by CBS sports journalist Mike Aziza, and based off that tweet, I said I would take a deeper look into the calculations, and that's exactly what I want to do in this video. But just to be clear, before I get into any of this, I'm not picking a side or making excuses for either the players or the owners. So just leave all that emotional stuff, leave it. Just forget about it.
Hey, I'm not picking sides or anything, but do any of us actually know financially what it takes to run an MLB organization? Are you kidding? What's the problem? Billionaire owners, are you serious, man? With their billion-dollar TV deals and charging an arm and a leg to go watch a game at a stadium? Are you serious, man? Do people really think like this?
Yeah, people do think like that, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. One of the reasons why I wanted to look into these numbers is for comments like the one at the end of Mike's tweet,
MLB keeps making the same offer in different forms.
or comments like this.
Looking forward to MLB's next good faith offer of the same pig with a different shade of lipstick.
This type of biased thinking puts every bit of the blame on the owners, and it's just something I don't subscribe to. The truth is that the majority of us don't know the first thing about running a business, let alone running an MLB organization. But I'm getting ahead of myself, so let's look at the tweet and let's break this down. 82 games at a sliding scale equals roughly 33% of the salary. 50 games at a prorated pay equals roughly 33% of the salary. 76 games at 75% prorated pay equals, drumroll, about 33% of the salary. It all comes back to the same place. What I interpret that little squiggly, roughly similar context type of thing is that I did the calculations and my number turned out to be 32.98. That's roughly 33% is how I interpreted that. And at first I didn't want to agree that MLB owners are just, trying to play us, the fans, and the players for a fool. I mean, we have all this information at our fingertips. So it's like the first thing I thought to myself was like, damn, I don't really know if I agree with this. So before I get into the sliding scale salary, which is a little harder to calculate, because not every player is counted as the same, I want to take a look at the 50 game proposal and the 76 game proposal. 50 game proposal at 100% prorated salary. MLB players are owed over $3.9 billion in total salary. They're going to get paid a prorated salary over 50 games. That means that we need to take that number and divide it by the 162 games and pay them their 100% owed salary for just 50 games. That comes out to be 1.2 billion, which is actually like 30.86% of their salary. So they're basically taking like a 70% pay cut, which is not what the 33% shows us. But I know you're thinking to yourself like, oh, but 33% roughly. I think the numbers are a lot different when we're talking about millions or hundreds of thousands of dollars. Those 3% is a big difference. Now let's take a look at the 76 games with a 75% prorated salary, 50% guaranteed. I understand that the other 25% kicks in if the playoffs are played. For this scenario, let's just assume that the playoffs will be played. So what we did was we took the this amount and divided it by 162 again, times it by the 76 games, but only at the 75% prorated rate. And they're actually getting more money in this deal, about 160 million more in this deal, which actually told us to be about 35.19% of their original salary. So whether we want to believe it or not, from the 50 game to the 76 game, we are getting more money for the players in the second proposal. That whole no draft compensation clause in there, I mean, I'm not even getting into that stuff. This is just simply about the money. So now that we got those two easy calculations out of the way, I want to take a look at the sliding scale proposal, which was the first proposal before the 50 game, before the 76 game. We had the sliding scale proposal. People hated it, and I do think there's a good reason to hate it. The only problem is it's not as easy to calculate as the other two, because players they'll be taking a pay cut based off how much they make. using a tweet that I saw from Jeff Passan where he broke out all the different brackets for how players would be paid. I went on Sports Track. I got everybody's salaries for the 2020 season. And then what I did is that I took Jeff Passan's breakouts and I just broke everything out. So the highest paid players, now if we're doing it just by what the brackets show, the highest paid players are only getting 10%, about 10% of their salaries. I'll leave these numbers up for here for you guys so you can look at. So based off all this, you can see here there's 37 players that would have been impacted by that 20 million, I think it was, that 20 million threshold, which is like the top percentage that they'll get pay cuts up to, like they're only making 20% prorated. There's only 37 players in that pool. There's 90 players in the 30%. And it increases until we get to the very bottom, 15 players in that 500,000 or lower bracket. But the point is that this isn't as easy to calculate as the other ones. We need to go for a weighted average salary. By taking that weighted average salary, meaning that these 200, 350 players that we see here will have the biggest impact on what kind of percentage they're actually making. I calculate the weighted average, and what I'm actually seeing here is 28.11%, not the roughly 33% that we saw before. I don't know how he got to the 33%. I sat here, I tried to go all these different scenarios. Maybe I'm an idiot and I don't see it. It's right in front of me, and I'm just blind. But I don't see that 33% number in any of these. I wouldn't make that connection to any of these figures. What I am seeing, though, is that MLB keeps ramping up the amount of money that they're going to be offering these players. Whether we think it's fair or not is another discussion, but they are offering more money, and it's not the same deal 3 different ways. All right, so those are the numbers, and I just want to close it off with this. I don't choose a side with the players or with the owners. Like I said before, we don't know what it takes to run an MLB organization. In the same breath, we don't know what it's like to be a professional Major League Baseball player. I think there's a good reason why they make the money that they make. It's a very specialized profession. And these guys are the best at what they do. So I can't put myself in their shoes and say that how are these guys fighting over millions of dollars? Nobody gets into my business of how much money I make. I kind of don't feel like we should get into their business. With that being said, I think we also need to recognize that greed isn't something that increases or is more apparent the more money you make. There's poor people in this world that are greedy. So in other words, yeah, we can point the finger at billionaires for being greedy, but let's not think that MLB baseball players are above being greedy. In other words, they can easily just be as greedy. That's just a fact. They can just be as greedy as the billionaires. They want their money. They deserve their money. They signed a contract. I get it. And one last thing also that I wanted to add, because I'm just going on a rant at this point, is we got to kind of use our heads a little bit. Like, these owners, they own a business that they're trying to profit off of. And I don't think, at least in my brain, it just doesn't make sense that they would be doing everything in their power to sabotage their product. I mean, they're trying to put the best product out there for our entertainment. I think they know what they're doing. I don't think it's as easy as they're being greedy and holding money back and laying people off. I know it looks that way, but just because something has a net worth of $1 billion, mind you, they're not the only owners of that team. Net worth and what you actually make in profit are 2 different things. I just want to throw that out there. I think I'm just going to shut up now. You can do the math yourself. I use the weighted average for the sliding scale. The other 2 are pretty easy to calculate. Conclusion, they're getting more money every time they renegotiate the deal. Peace.